Hello, my name is Jan Mattes. I welcome you to the China Customer Council 2020, and I'm leading the product management here in Germany. And today I will give you an overview about by design today and tomorrow, and that shall hopefully be a good start for you and the Chinese Customer Council, and that you can enjoy many of the expert and customer sessions within that council. So, first of all, I need to make you aware that I will be talking about the future, but also about the today of by design. And I need to make you aware that all forward-looking statements, especially the new roadmap, which I will explain to you, is basically subject to risks. So forward-looking statements you can never really rely on. So this is basically something you need to be aware of. So where are we standing with SAP Business by Design today? And I can tell you, by design has never been more healthy than it is nowadays. So we've been investing significantly in all application areas, and that is basically also the fundament that our customers can be growing with by design. And from the numbers that you see here, especially from the number of customers that we can support today, it's almost 8,400 customers around the world which are using by design, and it's a growth rate of almost 30%. And you see this also from the numbers how our customers are using the by design systems. In total, we see a huge growth in the production orders that our customers create, in the projects, but also in the financial documents. You see how well they are doing with by design. And just to give you a feeling that we will continue growing, I think the most interesting number is also the numbers of learners. It's basically people which want to learn by design. They are at the beginning of their journey with by design, and they invest significant time into by design. And that is basically which gives me a good feeling about the future about by design, because if people learn your solution, then they want to use it in the future way more. So, so much for the numbers. And as you know, we are coming from a service-centric focus for Business by Design. We started in 2007 already, focusing mainly on project-based services and standardized services. This is our sweet spot where we have been coming from. But since a couple of years, we now focus on product-centric businesses. That's the right-hand side. You could see businesses which sell materials, which produce and also deliver those materials to their customers. That is our strategic focus, and it will continue to be our strategic focus in the next years. What we also perceive is, especially here in the Western markets, companies are more and more having a convergence between selling and producing materials and delivering service. They bundle the materials and the services. That is what we call a convergence between service-oriented and material-oriented companies. And this is basically one of our sweet spot nowadays. Not many cloud ERP solutions in the world can really cater for both and for the combination of both. I will give you a couple of examples why we have here a significant value in the by design solutions. It is important for us that we learn from you. How you use the system and how you extend the system is very vital for us to understand how we are going to develop it in the future. So from that, basically, we learn where is our focus. We decided that product-centric businesses is our focus area. And how do we develop now our solution? We listen to you. So in the current year, in 2020, we've been selecting and adding lots of customer influence requests that you have created in our customer influence portal. We understood it, we discussed it, and we also thought of what is achievable, and that is basically then our driver for future investments. So for the product-centric functionalities, we've been delivering this year more than 650 votes. And overall, we've been achieving in 2020 a total delivery of votes of 1,300. So that is basically what drives us. That is basically what gives us the direction. And of course, we add basically the flavor And we want to focus on product-centric industries, while at the same time, of course, not neglecting our service-centric business. This is where we are coming from. We will keep this as our treasure and invest into that as well. So this is basically the old roadmap. So we've been publishing that roadmap in April this year, 2020. And just to give you a feeling that we are really fighting hard to keep our promise, you see here green marked all the capabilities that we have been able to deliver. So we have been delivering on our promise a lot. Some areas we are still working on. So you see it's a future roadmap going until the year 2021. And basically we are working on many of the white topics that you currently see as not yet delivered. So that path will continue. And I want to explain a bit how do we basically select our focus for product-centric industries and businesses. We very well understand that also in times of COVID, and especially in times of COVID, many companies are focusing their production, but also their logistics, their delivery, and they are focusing on being more agile and transparent. Only with agility and transparency, they can meet their targets, the high expectations from their customers. And that is, of course, an ocean of requirements. How is it possible to reschedule or cancel production orders? What is the component availability? What is the customer demand looking like? What are the defects that we identify during the production? How is our physical inventory being counted and updated? And what can we promise to our customers that we deliver, and by when do we deliver? That is basically the challenges where you as a customer need to get more agile and you want to have more transparency. And again, we are not doing and investing this out of our knowledge. We are listening to you. And this is basically all the customer influences around that we've been identifying throughout the year and that we want to deliver and deliver to you. And that is basically here the detail list. It's more than 500 votes that in 2020 we delivered to enhance the agility of our customers in terms of production and logistics. Let me give you a tangible example. You see here a couple of data sources and reports that we delivered as standard out of the box to increase visibility in purchasing and production and warehouse management. And on top of those reports, we've been even building a couple of KPIs, which we deliver out of the box as a sample, as a standard content you can start working and you can then adapt. And we take this then, of course, to the next level in terms of that we build capabilities on top of that. So one example is here the accounts with delivery delay. It's a KPI you can easily set up with our order fulfillment on time and in full report. And you can use that to communicate to your customers your delivery accuracy. So if, let's say, the accuracy is not so good, you can inform the customers proactively and say, hey, dear customer, we are not yet reaching our standards, but you can proactively inform those customers. And that is something like a value you only get out of the nature of the integrated cloud ERP Business by Design. Another example, and this is now an example where the convergence of service-centric and product-centric businesses are very tangible. Very often you have to support your materials, your machinery you've been selling to a customer with a service order. And before you can do that, you need to ensure that the delivery of the spare parts happen in advance. And you want those pre-deliveries happening from a third-party logistics provider. This is what we support now with our 2020 releases. And the same is also the case if you have a project. You want to ensure that certain materials are there and you want to deliver them also from a third-party logistics provider. Again, an example on what we delivered throughout the year 2020. A topic very close to my heart is mobility, and I know that in China, mobility is something like the essence of everything. If you are not mobile, you're not there. And that's why we also made our mobile apps available in the Tencent store. You can download it for free and use them and adapt them to your needs. Lots of capabilities are associated there. For instance, manager approvals, but also simple things like locking and unlocking your users. And most important, you can again see your KPIs. If you have a delivery related KPI like on time and in full, then you can consume that also on your smartphone to see where you are standing. Another example, which again relates to analytics, but also the transactional view in the ByDesign system, is our ByDesign rule-based price engine. It's very powerful. It allows you to automatically determine prices, but also discounts. But more, it allows you also to override that. So you can really enable your salespeople to give a certain amount of discounts on their own. But if you do so, you want to really tightly control that. You want to see who is giving the most discounts, and you want to see on what products and for what customers. And then probably if it's getting excessive, you want to talk to those people and give a guidance to your sales team to take care or to give more discounts in certain areas and less in others. This is basically what we allow here, again on the smartphone, but also as with our embedded price component analytics since the year 2020. You know that ByDesign is a global solution, and that is basically one of the biggest values. So if you are starting and using it in China, and you have a subsidiary, let's say, around the globe, then ByDesign is the solution which ensures that it's really running around the globe, that you have your local operations using the same software as your on-site operations in mainland China. And South Korea is an example of one of the latest countries we've been adding to our country roadmap. You see, we will not only add more countries in the future, but also keep the existing countries supported, because legislation and rules are changing in every country dynamically, and that is a continuous work you can expect from us. And one last topic. It is also important to keep the legal compliancy, and one of the investment areas which is also extremely relevant for China is the China cybersecurity law or the California Consumer Privacy Act. So laws which basically enforce that you can disclose what data you have been storing, for what are you the data using, and also if needed, then delete personal data if this should be the case. And China cybersecurity is only one example for those laws. We have those laws also in Europe with the GDPR legislation, and in California, and in many, many countries all over the world. With ByDesign, you get all of these capabilities for free, and that basically underlines our global perspective on ByDesign. So how are we now evolving and developing a new roadmap? I've been mentioning already the customer influences and the votes. It's basically our customer influence portal, you could call it. It's like the downside of the iceberg. So it's under the waterline, and what we then put above the waterline is our roadmap. And that is basically what I have been showing to you from the April roadmap, and I will show you now to you with our October roadmap, which we just published. You are the first to see that roadmap. Important is really you need to file your customer influences, and you need to vote for customer influences if you want to influence that roadmap. That is really significant, and you find the link here. Don't hesitate to look into what's there and to vote. And if you want to create your own customer influences, we are happy to take that and to look into that. So what is now our new roadmap as of October looking like? It's not a surprise. We continue with our focus for logistics and production. The focus is supporting product-centric industries more than in the past, even more, and making production and logistics more agile. You've seen already a couple of things that we have been working on, and we will continue that path. Let me explain a bit some of the highlights that we have here in that new roadmap. So one important topic is we will continue our investments of the past. So let's say the extension of our lease accounting lifecycle is something, a follow-up from the past deliveries. You might be aware of IFRS 16 as a legal standard, and we will continue investing into that. Product-centric businesses is our focus, as mentioned, so that will be continuing. You see this here depicted in our roadmap. And one of the big new things that we are currently working on is, for instance, the customer consignment. Customer consignment is basically then enabling you to have more flexibility in selling your services and materials, of course, to your customers and manage them in their own area of the warehouse, and also to ensure that this is then also from a tax perspective legally correct. Another important topic that we will invest is the intelligent enterprise. You see this here also depicted already in the business scenario roadmap, but more of this can be found here on the cross scenario slides. You see that is basically our investment areas into intelligent enterprise. One of the examples, again, that we delivered in the past is the intelligent supplier invoice scanning, but we will continue that by adding things like mobile expense reporting or robotic process automation bots and a workbench which will enable partners to build then automations for you, and also a workbench which will enable you to leverage predictive analytics as part of our ByDesign solution. So that is then basically a high-level overview about our roadmap. Very, very important is you need to consider also what our partners are doing. You find all the partner-delivered standard apps in our app store. You will get a link later on. And here's also the roadmap for our partners. That's what our partners communicate to be doing. So that is really important. So have a look into that roadmap, make yourself familiar, and think about using those. It might be the last mile for you, and it doesn't make sense if you now reinvent the wheel. You want a vital ecosystem where partners and customers share their solutions, and this is basically one of the promises that the partners give you here. They invest into ByDesign. They put their bets into the future of ByDesign by publishing this here in that roadmap. So our partners are really a vital part of our whole business. Our partners leverage the openness and the extensibility of ByDesign. And just to give you a couple of perspectives here as well. First of all, we openly publish our APIs in the SAP API Hub. Also, we deliver out-of-the-box standard interfaces and integrations. And we encourage our partners to use those interfaces and to build either customer-specific or generic standard integrations. If customers and partners decide to develop such an add-on to ByDesign, then those add-ons can be published in our App Store. We really encourage you to have a look into that App Store. There you find basically what our partners develop. And an example is, for instance, the Scan4 Cloud solution from our partner for mobile warehouse management. It's a perfect fit. It was designed for ByDesign, and it really makes a lot of sense to not reinvent the wheel, just use the existing apps. And the same is also the case in terms of training and support. SAP offers out-of-the-box standard support and standard training with the open SAP courses, and those are used by our partners to build their own custom and partner-specific training content, and to also offer partner-specific support options. So that was basically it. Let me summarize. ByDesign is the solution which allows you to end-to-end analyze, plan, purchase, procure, store, sell, execute, deliver, and service for all of your business. And it's a cloud ERP, and that's why it's running also in times of physical distance. You can go live without having a person on site. You can run your business without someone maintaining hardware and software. It is important that ByDesign is a solution which is globally available, which allows you to run your companies all over the globe, all in one tenant, all in one system with one infrastructure. So you don't need multiple systems. Of course, you can integrate, but you should do as much as you can in one system, and that is the ByDesign system. And ByDesign is also the solution to sustainability, not only in terms of greenhouse emissions. SAP is going forward. So since 2014, We are on zero greenhouse emissions with our data centers, and our ambitious targets for 2025 are there as well. So we want to be a zero greenhouse as SAP overall by that. But we also ensure that resources are being shared. So all data center power which is available to you is shared with other customers. So there is no waste of resources at SAP. We really share it a lot. And if you want to go, of course, for your own service, then this is also possible. So I hope you liked what you have seen, and I wish you a very pleasant customer council, lots of learnings and lots of discussions. And well, stay with us. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Thank you.